bigots, and one in particular, woman accused, bigot accused of harassing Black neighbors, put it up full mass. When will this stop? Per Atlanta Black Star, Maine's Attorney General has filed a civil rights complaint against 65-year-old Andrea Ouellette, who was accused of racist, verbal, and physical attacks against two Black neighbors that included threats of, "I will effing kill you," toward one of the victims, all right? Attorney General Arron M. Frey announced the complaint under the Maine Civil Rights Act on Tuesday against this individual, Andrea, of Lewiston, Maine, who, according to the complaint, exhibited racist behavior toward a 48-year-old Black woman and a 31-year-old Black man. Both victims, who live along a block across the street from a home, are originally from Somalia, but have lived in the area for 2 decades, according to the complaint. More than 80% of the city's population is made up of white residents, and just under 11% of the city is Black, according to the latest Census Bureau information. So Andrea is accused of being racist, all right? So around November 9th, 2023, the man was outside his home speaking with his neighbor. A conversation that Andrea was able to hear. The document showed Andrea called him a racial epithet and told him to go back to your country. Very common Karen-like behavior. We've documented it here on Indisputable. According to the complaint, after the victim told her to stop, Andrea allegedly assaulted the man by throwing a pumpkin at his head, causing him to need medical attention for a swollen face, broken nose, and a broken tooth. The man required surgery to fix his nose and sinus cavity, and he missed multiple weeks of work during recovery. Quote, the defendant's actions also emotionally distressed victim number one, and he continues to avoid coming into contact with the defendant whenever possible, according to the document. Frey also accused Andrea of similar behavior toward another woman who lives nearby January 10th. As the neighbor exited her vehicle, Andrea left her building to confront the neighbor and began yelling that she couldn't park her car there. Andrea then allegedly approached the woman wielding a knife, screaming racial slurs and telling the Black woman to, once again, go back to your country or I will effing kill you, end quote. The complaint says the incident caused the woman to fear for her life and contact local police. The victim's daughter also experienced emotional distress stemming from the racist incident, and the woman and her family have avoided coming into contact with Andrea wherever possible. The Lewiston Police Department, which is investigating both incidents, says criminal charges are pending against Andrea, according to the DA's office, pending, okay? Frey's complaint is requesting a civil injunction against Andrea, preventing her from having any future contact with either victim and her families and from future violations of the Maine Civil Rights Act. The act authorizes Frey to bring an action against anyone using or threatening physical force, violence, or property damage against someone based on biases related to race, color, religion, and or other characteristics, according to the DA's office. Violating an order issued under Maine Civil Rights Act can mean a $2,000 fine and up to 364 days in jail, the office said in a news release. Andrea remains held in jail on a $5,000 cash bond. She's in the county jail. Great reporting by Atlanta Black Star on this. Okay. We have reported on multiple stories like this where individuals who are racist and a little bit up in age just cannot help themselves. Even if they are threatened with police intervention, they will still engage in this kind of activity. You got to think about how extreme and racist this is. Literally, you are willing to eliminate yourself out of normative society, put yourself in danger of incarceration, just so you can have the ability to call someone the N-word. This is insane. But this is how deep the psychology of racism is inside of some. Rayyvana, thoughts here?
Well, I'm glad that they're, filing a civil rights complaint against her. What I can't wrap my head around is why she's still pending charges,
Right.
and there's still an ongoing investigation. What I also can't understand is why she hasn't been charged with a hate crime. This seems like an extremely multiple hate crimes in this instance. It seems like extremely clear cases. I mean, it's exactly what you need to charge someone with a hate crime. The not the racism is embedded in the incident. It's not assumed. She is
That's right.
clearly stating her racist intent behind committing these crimes. So while I'm glad that, that she could be facing these, relatively severe penalties. I mean, and spending a year in jail is no small matter, but she needs to be removed from society. This is someone who clearly lacks, her drive to be racist, her bigoted nature overwhelms any sense of sanity that she would have. I mean, her ability to even just exist in this community and live in this society is so severely compromised by her racist nature that she is a danger to those around her.
Yep.
And a threat to them, and she needs to be removed from that, spending time in jail, and she needs to face really severe penalties. And so I just don't see what investigation needs to continue for them to even charge her. It's all right in front of them.
Yeah, every bit of it. And you make a great point about the hate crime aggravator, because they write these laws so restrictive that you literally have to be hurling the racist word while engaged in the criminal act. If you said something racist a week before and you commit a crime the week after against the same person, there's ambiguity. All right, you can argue. But this person literally did the crime while yelling the racism, which is typically how the statute is interpreted. All right, we'll bring you updates as they come.